Nacheri armarman, nacheri armarman, nacheri armarman, nacheri armarman.
Hare Krishna. Would you like to hear a little more from Srila Prabhupada's instructions on the holy name? Okay.
Please.
Maharaj, I think you unmute.
This is from a letter that Srila Prabhupada wrote to Allen Ginsberg. I was very much aggrieved to hear the news of your accident, and I was very, very anxious to learn that you are lying now in the hospital. I hope you are progressing nicely, but in any condition, I request that you continue to chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna. Here is a chance for you to chant Hare Krishna exclusively in the hospital bed. The world is full of dangers in every step. Just like in the ocean, there is danger in every step. But if we take shelter of a boat, which is known as the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, then this great ocean of danger becomes as harmless as a small pit. We shall be able to cross hundreds of such pits simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord, the Hare Krishna mantra. I am forwarding this letter through Rupanuga, and I shall be glad to hear about your improved health from him. Praying to Krishna for your early recovery. Do not be worried. Krishna will save you from all dangers. Chant sincerely. And this one is from a lecture on Bhagavad Gita in Calcutta, 1974. Even though some of you weren't able to be there, as far as we know, for this lecture, now we can hear it. Fortunately, it was recorded. And we can take in this instruction coming from Prabhupada's heart. So our request is everyone who is present here today today is Radhashtami. So pray to Radharani. And she is Hare, Hara. This Hare, this word is Radharani. Hara, Radharani. Radha or Hara, the same thing. So, Hare Krishna. We are praying to Radharani, my dear mother Radharani, and Krishna, Hare Krishna, O Lord, Hare Krishna, the same thing, repetition. O Radharani, O Krishna, O Radha Krishna, Radhe Krishna. Or Hare Krishna, the same thing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Again addressing, O Krishna, O Radharani, Hare Rama, the same thing again. Hare Rama. Rama is also Krishna. Rama is Rama. Rama is Balaram. They're all Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this repetition of addressing Radha and Krishna, or Hare Krishna, is to pray, my dear Lord, in the energy, the spiritual energy of the Lord, kindly engage me in your service. That's all. I am now embarrassed with this material existence. Please engage me in your service. Isn't that a nice one? I am now embarrassed with this material service, he says. I'm now embarrassed with this material service. Please engage me in your service. Like kama adinam katina katida palita durnidesha stesham jata mayina karuna natrapa nopushanti utsri jaitanata yarupate samprata labdabudis tamayata sharanam abhayam mam nyungshva madasye. That I've been embarrassed for so long by the material service. It's Prabhupada writes in his books, it's a colossal hoax. And there's an unwillingness to give it up. Just like Dhritarashtra, he knew that his son was bad. He knew Duryodhana was bad, and everyone came. Vidura told him, give it up, to avoid this battle. And others came and pleaded with him to don't do this, don't fight, give the Pandavas back what they deserve. And he knew it was the right thing, he just couldn't do it. So in praying to Krishna for service, we know that there may be some unwillingness for some strange reason. But if we can keep chanting Hare Krishna, we can break through to that feeling where my volition is completely pointed towards serving Krishna. Then we're liberated, then we're happy. Otherwise, that reservation that I will serve myself, I will serve my own interests, and I'll stay here in the material world, whatever lingering desires I have, is such a burden. So now let's just take a few reflections so far from your chanting. Were you able to hear the syllables? And were you feeling absorbed, or any of the thoughts that you have? And if you want to share in writing, you can through this isvlibrary.com/ask.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I was just appreciating how, even though we have this Dhritarashtra mentality, if we stick to the holy name can actually help us overcome it. And simply by chanting, all difficulties, all impediments, any inertia will be able to cross.
Thank you for those encouraging words.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I was reflecting that, Prabhupada is always looking for opportunities. Even somebody in the hospital, he's telling, now you have the time. So it's very, how all the time, acharyas are giving us that, you cannot do right now, no, you do it. If you cannot do this time, no, you do it. You do a little bit, but even in the hospital, now there's no other distraction other than what you have to do. Just do it. I just feel like, that's very motivating, that in that adverse situations, we should, take shelter exclusively, then, we can make best use of our time. So
yes, and this is the mind thinks sometimes, in the future I will start, later I will surrender, and procrastination. But when will it actually start? Oh, next time, tomorrow, later, when I'm old, sometime. But Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityaja, he gives full permission that you can do it now. Why not? And if somebody around us does it, then it becomes so inspiring, because you see, whoa, that person could do. Why couldn't I also do at some point?
Hare Krishna.
Right
Prabhu.
now. Yes. Hare Krishna.
So my quick question is, Prabhuji, like how Prabhupada was saying that Krishna will save you from all danger, but sometimes we also pray, but whatever inevitably has to happen will happen. So we have this wrong concept of maybe Krishna will save me from some debt or some death or something like that. So what is this real danger that Krishna is protecting us from, that we should be convinced of and chant with that conviction and faith?
The real danger is to miss seeing Krishna's hand in our life at every step, because the movements of the material nature are inevitable. And even for very advanced dharmic, religious, highly advanced devotees, we see that material nature apparently moves in ways that are against their immediate plans or long-term plans. But like the Pandavas, they never forgot Krishna, and Krishna notices this. He mentioned that the Pandavas never forgot me, even as they went through all kinds of troubles and tribulations due to the force of eternal time, that they always were connected with me. So really, all troubles come from the mind. And when I forget my connection with Krishna, then it doesn't matter if things are going seemingly my way, I'm still not happy or productive. But if they're going any which way, and I'm fully aware that I'm Krishna's servant and see his hand in things, then I'm naturally happy and connected. So what the danger that we're protected from is forgetting Krishna and forgetting his hand in it. Physically, it's not that I won't trip on the carpet. Krishna, protect me from that. Something will inevitably happen due to the way the material world moves, but the devotee never forgets Krishna, and that's Krishna's mercy.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Yes, Bhakta Rohit.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I was just reading through the shloka, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 24, where it's like Parthiva Daruno Dhumas Tasmadagnistrayamaya. And you once mentioned that in a lecture previously when you said that wood is good, but smoke is better, and fire is even better. So, and you also mentioned that the smokiness, that this haziness comes because of passion, and the only way to remove that smokiness is to practice devotional service. And that's what I experience when I have a long day. No matter how long a day I have, no matter how hectic a day I have, when I sit down, come back and just chant, all that haziness just goes away, and and that fire kind of comes back of my own real identity, my relationship with Krishna and the holy name, etc.
Yeah, thank you for quoting the Shastra. It's very clear. Your point is very clear, and everyone's looking for a solution to their problems and to anxieties, but there is no other solution other than rising above rajas and tamas and even sattva. And there is no other way to do that than coming in contact with Krishna. And the best way, iti murtyabhidanena mantra murtim amurtikam yajite yagya purusham sasam yag darshana puman. You get the full darshan of Krishna through his mantra, through his name. And that's the solution. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it's the solution to all the world's problems. If people only knew. Because you can make a revolution and change things, and then they'll be affected by the modes of material nature, and then they'll go back to where they were. And in our own lives, we can make so many arrangements, even to try to be in sattva-gun, but again, rajas or tamas will conquer sattva-gun and pull us back down again. So really our only refuge is the chanting of the holy name. And thank you for giving that personal anecdote about how it works for you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Let's take two more.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Shraddha Devi Dasi.
Maharaj, thank you so much for the wonderful reading from Prabhupada's quotes and lectures. I was just thinking that in this material world, or even in the spiritual aspects of it, when we look at gratitude and being grateful for somebody, we always try to give it back in the same proportions. And for example, like if I have a lot of money, I might think that that Krishna has given me so much money, so let me build a temple for him, or let me open a bhandara so that I distribute food and things like that. But you mentioned that the best way to express our gratitude to Krishna, which struck me really, was that you chant his names. And so how powerful the chanting is like that,
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we don't mind if somebody has money and they want to donate for the temple also. Here's Minna. Oh, yes, please, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I was just thinking that if we wanted to improve our chanting, I was just thinking how it's not just that 2 hours that you spend in the morning that you focus on, but it's a preparation throughout the day. What you put in, like you always mention, do not dump drains to bay, like that. So I was just thinking, reflecting that it's a preparation throughout the day, that you're thinking how I can improve how can I do better chanting the next day. So I was just appreciating that.
Yeah, so we were talking about that recently in the course on deity worship. And the fact is that the Bhagavat Marg and the Panchratrik Vidhi go on 2 tracks. And that's what carries us to the destination. So the Panchratrik keeps us engaged 24 hours a day in staying clean, worshiping the deity. For instance, you have to stop 3 times a day and do the Gayatri Mantra. And you should be in a clean state. And also, you have to get up early and you have to worship the deities and put them to rest. So you have to be clean there too. And so that vidhi in the beginning of worshiping the deity keeps us in a state where when we sit down to chant Hare Krishna, we're not so affected by the modes of material nature as if we just live in between. If we let any kind of sound vibration come in or we do anything that we want, then the senses will be very rebellious. Just like children, if they're not trained properly, then they become unruly. And it's very difficult to, okay, now you sit down and be peaceful. And they won't do it because they're not used to it. So the mind is like a child. It has to be trained. And the Panchatrick helps that also. So it's a really good point, Malini. Thank you. And we had from Minna says, beautiful words from Her Grace Rukmini Walker Devi to chant each mantra like it's the last mantra you'll ever chant again, and to make sure we try to catch the first Hare in each mantra we chant. And Natisha gave a power phrase, our only refuge, chanting the holy name. Look, it's Sudhir Madhava Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Gaur Premanande Haribol. Jai. Okay. Oh yes, please go ahead.
We liked your point that you mentioned in order to express our gratitude to Krishna, we can chant Hare Krishna with Preeti, with love.
Yes. When that, Prabhupada said, when we develop that sense of Preeti, then through our work, throughout the day, then we can always remember Krishna. If we don't have that sense of Preeti, it becomes more of a duty than natural. And so we can develop that because Krishna's name is very sweet in that he reciprocates with us and we can feel that he's helping us. Okay, so last one from Sunita writes, I just read last night in Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, it is mentioned that Lord Chaitanya said that chanting is the sound incarnation of Lord Krishna. We can directly associate with Krishna as soon as you chant attentively. Yes, Nama Avatar. So this is an avatar. Avatar means one who comes from the fourth dimension where Krishna lives down into our realm. And when he descends, then he opens up a channel so that we can also go back home, back to Godhead. So he's descended just to save us, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. And if we take advantage of his association of Nam Prabhu, then he'll do everything. We just have to be peaceful and non-offensive and chant Hare Krishna, especially if you can get a picture of Panchatattva. Prabhupada said, keep Panchatattva and chant and just hear Hare Krishna and everything else will be done. Right, Bhakti Rohit? Yes, Hare Krishna. All right, let's do some more mantra up until the end of the hour, together with following what Rukmini Walker Devi said to chant each mantra like it's our last mantra. And make sure you catch Hare at the beginning of each. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Haribo. Okay, one last installment. This is from a Prabhupada lecture in Mayapur, 1977, from Srimad Bhagavatam. The king of the elephants, he was an animal. You know the story, that he was attacked by a crocodile in the water. So there was a struggle for existence between the two. And after all, the crocodile is the animal of the water. He had great strength. And the elephant, although he is a very big, powerful animal, but he was not an animal of the water. So he was very helpless. So at last he began to chant the holy name of the Lord and prayed. So he was saved. He was saved. And because the crocodile caught up the leg of the elephant, he was also saved because he was a Vaishnava. That is, Gajendra was a Vaishnava. So he was at the feet of a Vaishnava, even though he was biting him. And the animal, crocodile, he was under the feet of a Vaishnava. So he was also saved. This is the story. You know. So therefore, Chadya Vaishnav Seva, he indirectly gave service to the Vaishnav, and he also became delivered. So bhakti is so nice thing that very easily you can get favor of the Supreme Personality. And if Krishna is pleased upon you, then what remains? Everything you get, everything you get. You don't require much money, much education, nothing of the sort. Simply you require your heart. Oh Krishna, you are my Lord. You are my master eternally. I am your servant eternally. Let me be engaged in your service. That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the meaning of the Hare Krishna mantra. O Krishna, O energy of Krishna, I am your servant. Somehow or other I have now fallen in this material condition. Kindly pick me up and engage me in service. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching to us. This material world is just like a great ocean, bhava. Bhava means repetition of birth and death. And ambu means ambudhao, means in the sea, in the ocean. So we are struggling hard for existence in this ocean. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am your servant, eternal. Somehow or other have fallen in this ocean of struggling. Pick me up. This is Bhakti Marg, devotional service. To become very humble, meek, always pray to Krishna. Kindly consider me as one of the particles of the dust of the lotus feet of your lordship. So spake Srila Prabhupada in March of 1977, Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you very much, everyone, for using 1 hour out of your valuable life for a very concentrated chanting of the holy names together. We won't forget this. It'll never go in vain. And if we can just string together a whole series of these kind of experiences, one after another, put off all other less important things and run out the clock on the field, then we'll follow in the footsteps of Gajendra and all the other great devotees who surrendered to the Lord. Shri Bhakti Marg Ki Jai. Vanchakalpadrishya Kripasinave Vachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. We'll be back at 8:20 to start the Krishna Katha. Thank you very much, everybody. Hare Krishna. Can everyone say Hare Krishna, please?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, hey, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman.